The New World expansion has been announced, but in this video I want to focus on mounts. There's around about 5 major things that you may not have seen that are going to be very important when it comes to mounts and the profession that comes along with it. So let me jump in. I'll try and show you the evidence that I have. Obviously, if it ends up not working like I have here, then, you know, that's just one of those things. But I've got evidence, so let's show you. So the first thing that I want to draw your attention to is that apparently you are going to be taming the animals. The mounts actually only become unlockable at specific levels. But it might be that you can tame different variants of the same animal. Maybe there's going to be several different horses, for example, and maybe you can tame several different appearances. We'll come on to appearances in a minute, but I'm not 100% sure how that will work right now, but they do say taming right there. Now, of course, there is a new riding trade skill that comes along with it that you are going to have to level up, and that'll give you stuff like increased speed, buff, and higher tier consumable food for your new friend. However, there's a little bit of evidence that suggests that you will actually be leveling up your mount, not just the skill, if that makes sense. So you can see at the top of here that additionally mounts can be leveled up to level 50, and you do this by feeding them and completing specific quests or participating in small races. Like, a lot of this information is sort of intertwined because a lot of them sort of intersect together, but you are going to be leveling up your mount, and you can do so in a variety of different ways. Now, the bit I was actually covering up here is the fact that you actually have to be a specific level to unlock the type of mount. So it's going to be level 25 for horses, level 45 for wolves, and level 65 for lions. And apparently there will be a quest that you need to do to unlock them. And I do think they're actually going to be different appearances. So I think you're going to unlock them, and then I think you're going to tame them. So you might be able to tell, it's maybe not very clear, but this cat here quite clearly looks different from this cat here. So there are different appearances as well as decorations. And again, we'll come on to decorations in a moment. So you've got a variety of different things. You've got different levels that you need to be to get the quest that will then unlock that specific type of mount. Then there will be taming the mounts. And then there's probably a profession that goes along with it, the riding profession, that will help you get faster, as well as you will actually level up the mount itself. So it sounds like it's going to be like really quite complex and quite detailed. And I mentioned races here. Now, it's worth noting that these races are not competing against other players directly. It's not like you all line up and whoever wins wins kind of thing. It's actually going to be a bit against the clock. So basically it's going to be timed. I think like Dragonflight has that. I think Guild Wars 2 has something like that. Maybe they're with flying mounts or what have you. But you will get victuals, which I literally never heard of this word, but I think it's basically like snacks for the horse, and you'll get more for your mount as well. As I said, it just sounds like it's hitting checkpoints to checkpoints. It's not like you can actually be like, let's everybody line up and let's race, and it'll be like a, first, second, third. It'll just be against the clock. Whether or not there'll be a leaderboard for that, I mean, we don't actually know. But overall, I think that's a really cool system. One thing I don't think I mentioned is that you can name your horse. So if you want to be riding J Oddity, as weird as that might be possible. Please don't do that. I know some people are going to do that now, and I'm going to see screenshots of it. Please don't do that. I mean, no, whatever. Live your life. Do whatever you want. Now, I'll just sort of play the footage for this one, but basically there is a screen where you can decorate your horse. It sounds a little bit weird. It looks like that there is 2 decoration slots. One of them appears to be like a shield on the back, and the other, I'm not 100% sure what exactly it is, but maybe it's just the iron ring around the front, like the saddle pack. And then there appears to be 2 slots that are like horseshoes and maybe like a collar, although maybe that'll be different per mount. And basically these have buffs. I'm not going to like pause it exactly, but some of them say that it'll make you sprint faster, etc. So there's going to be a whole different set of things to collect that will improve your mount and change the way that it is decorated. So you may have control over the appearance and how it's decorated. There's also 4 what appears to be like consumable slots. I'm guessing they are the victuals or whatever the hell that word is that I've never actually heard before. And maybe that'll be like the little treats that make your mount go a little bit faster. Also, very briefly worth noting that the UI is sort of split into 3. It now has like combat, gathering, and basically mounts. There doesn't appear to be right now mount skins. Now, I don't really know if this will change because it sort of blows my mind that you wouldn't sell mount skins in the store if you were a cosmetic kind of selling game. But it looks like the appearance might be how you tame the animals, and then there is no skin. However, maybe they'll sell decoration, maybe they'll sell the, those kind of things. I've obviously no idea. Or maybe there actually will just literally be a mount skin. There is a little box where it has the mount. Maybe that's a skin box where you can literally click that and change the skin. Maybe that's the case. I don't know how that will work. Presumably, obviously, you won't be able to skin like a horse that looks like a lion. I don't think that would make any kind of sense. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work with skins, but there's a lot of customization with the appearance somewhat, because we've seen different appearance like cats and horses and stuff like that, and you have the decoration on the mount itself. Overall, mounts look really, really cool. There's some footage of them being ridden around the Elysian Wilds. There's one that sort of looks like a paladin horse, which I have to say I really like. Yeah. And if everything looks really good, there's different variants of wolves and stuff like that on there. I sort of suspect they will expand this going forward, because it feels like it would be a very easy moneymaker, but just some really cool systems involved. You can name them. You're going to be able to tame them, it looks like. There's going to be quests to unlock them at different levels. There's going to be races that are quite cool. We've already seen the different types of mounts which might get expanded. There's decorations, there's buffs, there's treats. It doesn't sound like a half-baked system. This sounds like a really deep functioning system. Now, we sort of know a little bit how mounts will work, as in if you're in combat, you get hit, you fall off. That sort of all makes sense. I did see one thing that sort of suggested that once you got knocked off a mount, there was an item that would do a cleansing status. I don't know if that means there's going to be some sort of like mild combat things associated with it, but yeah. I also read that they're not available in Wars. I hope they're not available in Wars or Outpost Rush myself, but maybe that will make sense. Maybe they'll change Outpost Rush by just letting mounts be in there. And overall, as I said, it's a very deep system. Lots of customization, lots of options here. I'm really looking forward to testing this. One of the main things completely. It looks like very, very thrilling. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to support me, you can become a Patreon. Otherwise, join me on Twitch. I hope you have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe.